Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. We're back in the garage here, ready to review the next Bond tank on the list. Here we are. We're going to scroll down because I own some of these. We've reviewed quite a few of them. Check out the playlist below if you want to see a review on one particular one that you're interested in. But today we're going to look at the M46KR. Look at this thing. Is this worth the 8,000 bonds that they are asking for it? Well, let's... Oh, and I can't even return a crew because I guess I've never played it. Why have I never played it? I think because to me it just looks dumb. There's a face painted on this tank. Okay, anyways, firepower. 192 pen on its regular round. That's all I have to say. This tank isn't worth it. It's been power creeped and speed creeped and pen creeped and however creeped you want it. It's a creepy tank. It looks creepy and it's been power creeped. With 192 pen on the regular round, there's just better choices out there, guys. The Guard has 212 pen. The one that we just the Patriot has 230 pen. The Liberté has 220 some odd pen on the regular round. I know those are heavy tanks. Then there's the other one that we just reviewed. What is the other one that we just... Let me just... You got to see this because this is the most important stat, I think. We just reviewed the Mutt's 212 pen, which I didn't like. The Guard over 200 pen on the regular round. 192 to me is a deal breaker because you're going to get in situations where you're fighting tier 9s and 10s where you just have to press 2 and you press 2 to get 243 pen, which is still not that great. So you're going to be spamming gold and not making credits is the problem. The tanks with low pen on the regular rounds just get power creeped out of the game. The IS-6, do you want to play on IS-6 and have 186 pen fighting tier 9s, fighting a Motion and a T10? No, you don't. Okay, but let's keep going here. We'll talk about it more during the gameplay. 10 degrees of gun depression is fantastic. Damage per minute, you can improve that if you had the good crew in there, 2,000. It's standard. 2.4 second aim time, 0.36 dispersion. You can get that better with the crew. So the gun is like a typical tier 8 medium gun with low pen and low alpha. So, you know, plink, 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 bounce, bounce, bounce is going to be your life in this thing. And it has no armor. Your tank is made out of cheese. Okay, good. So you will not pen anything and you will not bounce anything. But I should say that surprisingly, sometimes you do end up bouncing some shots with this armor. 102 front plate here and 127 turret, which is really cheesy. But when you're top tier, sometimes you get some lucky bounces. Your turret is small. And for those of you who are very observant, yes, I'm now wearing a green shirt. And you can be slower than most medium tanks. Most of them have top speed of 50. You can go 48 just to balance yourself a little bit more. And concealment-wise, well, it's standard. With a good crew, with concealment and stuff, you're going to get this close to 30 stationary and 25 on the move, which is standard. And spotting, it's pretty much standard. Even without the crew here, I'm up to 429. So you got pretty good view range. But really, guys, this thing, I guess, is just a little bit of a gimmick because it has the funny-looking paint job on there. But you're underwhelming in almost every way. Having said that, let's watch some great gameplay and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Mr. 47Do73 is going to show us exactly how to play the Ripper Patton Tier 8 American. I never even mentioned it's an American Tier 8 premium tank. And he knows exactly what he's doing. He's got the marks on his barrel to prove it. And he finds himself top tier here fighting lower tier tanks. Now that is a factor, and I'm gonna just a little bit of an explanation here is what I've noticed and heard from some people that play the Ripper Patton and do pretty well in it. And it's consistent with what I've observed by other tanks that are, shall we say, underwhelming. that are statistically not that fantastic, is you tend to get decent matchmaking. The matchmaker in this game is the biggest balancer by far of your tank. And if you have a tank, some of the what are known as you'd say overpowered tanks or really good tanks, the Defender comes to mind. We have really good armor, powerful gun, high pen. You can dominate in front line, bully other tier 8s in some circumstances. You play that tank, and you're bottom tier almost every game. The matchmaker realizes this. If a Defender is top tier fighting tier 7s and 6s consistently, and there's one on one side and not one on the other side, it's almost an 80% win rate. You can't have that. So some of the really good tanks on paper just get harsh matchmaking, whereas some of the more underwhelming ones, and I think the Pilot is one, and this Ripper Patton is the other one. And there's a lot of other examples. You guys let me know in the comments which tanks you noticed this with. I think this tank just generally gets pretty good matchmaking, which kind of balances out the fact that it's got very underwhelming penetration on the regular round. It's kind of just an average. It's just an average medium tank, right? You're plinking away with less than 200 pen, average mobility, but you've got a fairly stable platform to shoot your gun. Like look at this. He's firing over and over and over again. He knows exactly what to do. He knows the weak spots. He's 3-marked this tank, and he's probably enjoyed some fairly decent matchmaking. So there is that factor, guys. When I gave it the harsh review and I say, oh, this one's a deal breaker for me, it's got 198 pen. There is the factor of some of the tanks that on paper don't look that good. When you just take them out and play, your gaming experience is not that bad. A lot of that has to do with the matchmaking. And I found that on just some tanks myself. Some tanks that I do, two that come to mind that I can compare that are almost exactly the same. The German Tier 8 Premium TD, the Kanonen Panzer 105. No armor, fast, good gun. Compared to the French TD, the AMX 105 something, the same sort of gun, fast, turretless TD. The French one has some pretty decent front armor. I play the French one and I'm in a tier 10 game almost every game. 9 or 10 game every game. And I do okay because I bounce some shots and I play the best I can. Then I play the German one, which has no armor. I'm top tier half my games. I almost never see tier 10s. My matchmaking on the two are just like night and day. Win rate, about the same. Damage per game, about the same. They're balanced. But I'll play what on paper is a better one, the French one. I'm bottom tier all the time. So, which one do I have a better gaming experience in? The German one. Because I'm not struggling versus higher tiers all the time. That's just my example. Let me know in the comments if you guys got examples. Mr. 47 here has just found himself his niche with his little Ripper Patton is just, he enjoys it and he does really well in it. And I expect that he gets a lot of games like this. Oh, you're playing a... Okay, this guy. Is the Muppet going to come? Yes. This guy knows what he's doing. And he knows how to play the tank. Come on, shoot him, shoot him. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, any tank that shoots a wheeled vehicle is a good tank in my books. He bounced a shot. He's actually bouncing some shots. Very nice. You can bounce a few shells in this thing, I guess. Obviously, if he's playing tier 9s and 10s, he's not bouncing anything. But he's doing pretty good here. Oh, who is that? Oh, it's a Ferdy. Oh, no, no! He decided to duck for cover rather than aim for the lower plate. No, no, no. Don't fight the Ferdy. Oh, the Ferdy's coming. Now we have to hope that the Ferdy is a Muppet. Is the Ferdinand a Muppet? Let's see. Okay, you got yourself into a little situation here. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. Look, the Ferdy's trying to side scrape because the Ferdy has forgotten that he does not have a turret. And now you can just make him feel foolish by tracking him, driving behind him, because he's got no turret. And just have some fun. I wish I had a tank with a turret. Daddy, this one doesn't have... Let me just drive away now. You can see what he's doing in this tank is he's being particularly careful to not leave himself exposed, which is what you have to do with all tanks, right? Just minimize the incoming fire, maximize the outgoing fire. Oh, look, you can't bounce that. The heat. The little wheeled vehicle spamming heat. That's always those are the most satisfying enemies to kill. The wheeled vehicle spamming heat. Let's see if you can do it. Come on. You can do it. Come on, come on. Someone do it. Oh, he's distracted. There's someone else you can shoot. Forget the wheeled vehicle spamming. Or SPG is just the second. What? What? Well, there's got to be at least one ghost shell per game. And now he switched to HE. Beautiful. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. Now, it would have taken you 2 shots to kill these guys anyway. So whether it's HE or normal ammo, I guess it's cheaper with HE. But it's still going to take you 2 shots per tank. Now, I tell you what, where HE is good is if you find a Borsig you can fight. Then HE starts to make a difference. Because you can rack up the damage doing... Oh, look, there's a Borsig left. I wonder where he is. Do you think he's camping in the corner? Cowering in those bushes? Where he's been all game? And he's been able to kill 2 people right at the end? And help his team lose? Let's see if he's there. Mr. 47 will find you. He's got your number. Let's see. He's got HE loaded. Let's see how he does here. Yeah. Oh, 347. Boom. 317. Yeah, beautiful. If you can make the HE work, this guy knows how to do it right. Aim carefully so you don't get trolled. Then HE is worth it. If you're a beginner and you're just going to auto-aim with HE, don't bother, because you're going to hit the gun mantlet, or you're going to hit the gun, or you're going to hit a track, and you're going to roll for 15. But well done, buddy. Beautiful gameplay, Mr. 47. Let's take a smoke break, guys. Actually, I don't smoke, but what I meant was let's take a smoke break. This guy's name is Smoke Break, okay? Smoke Break. Playing his Patton. Now, we just looked at the mutts previously. We did a video on the mutts, and I searched great games in the mutts. And a lot of the games, I noticed the mutts was bottom tier, or fighting tier 9s. And we watched a mutts player play versus tier 9s and actually do really well. He lost, but he did really well. I searched games in this tank, the Patton. I searched like best games. I didn't find any games where there's a Patton playing tier 9s and 10s that did spectacular. So I don't know if that means anything. Probably doesn't mean anything. But most of the games I see is good matchmaking. And top tier, I guess, you know, why not? But the guys, look at the other choices. The American, oh, your teammate just pushed you so that you couldn't get that shot. Oh, there's another guy there. Might as well shoot him. No, how about him? Snap! This is more like the Patton gameplay that I'm used to. There's other choices on the American texture. Like the Super Persian's been buffed now, and it's actually fairly fast. It's been sped up. And it has some armor in the front. Then there's the Patriot, which is basically the same shape and has the similar characteristics. There is one big difference, though. I'll talk about this while we watch this second game here, is that the Patton gets good matchmaking and you're a medium tank, right? So if you'd say, oh, I'd rather have the, if I'm going to have one premium tank, I'll have the Patriot, which I think is better. You're a heavy tank in the Patriot. So in the matchmaking, the enemy team is going to get a heavy tank. If you play a game in your Patriot, the enemy team's probably going to end up with, who knows, they could get a defender. They could get another tier 8 heavy tank to balance you. That's how the matchmaker works. If you're playing the Patton, the enemy team is going to get another medium tank to counterbalance you. And if you're in a tier 8 game, 8 7.6s. The enemy team is going to get another tier 8 medium tank. And there's not a lot of really overpowered ones. So, matchmaking, your counterpart is, I guess, not that overwhelming is what I'm trying to say. Whereas sometimes you play the Patriot or a tier 8 heavy tank, and your counterpart, you can get boned on the matchmaking. Let's see him work out here. He's using gun depression. He's using his pretty good gun. He's doing everything right. He's not fighting overwhelmingly strong tanks. And this is typical Ripper Patton gameplay. If I showed you, if I picked a game of this tank fighting tier 10s, you'd see move forward, take a few shots, get killed, go back to the garage. Like, what is this tank going to do versus tier 10s? I know there's some of you that are going to say, well, Claus, I play this one all the time, and I have no problem with tier 9s and 10s. I have a 88% win rate, and my WN8 is 3,486. There's always one of you that are going to leave that comment, and I say, good for you. You are an amazing player. You should start a YouTube channel to make some videos. Maybe start streaming on Twitch, and I'm sure thousands of people will start watching you and listening to what you have to say. For those of you who are not as great, I'm telling you, this tank versus tier 9s and 10s is, let's just say it politely and say, it's more of a challenge. 198 pen versus tier 9s and 10s. Good luck. You're going to be pressing 2 and losing credits. But Smoke Break is doing pretty good. So it's up to you guys. It's just another premium tank. I'd rank it as one of the weaker ones of the ones that are available for bonds. There's a lot of better choices out there. If you want an American medium premium, I'd go for the Super Pershing. You got the same sort of gun, the same lower pen, but you got premium matchmaking. And now they buffed it a little bit. It goes a little bit faster. Any tank is good when you're fighting Muppets like this. If you could hit the Muppet, it would be good. Hit the Muppet. Hit that Muppet. Hit that Muppet. Beautiful. But it's up to you. This one has the fancy paint job. Yeah. There's one more to review. The Chrysler American Heavy. We're going to do that next. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you've had some matchmaking experience to share with us, if you own this tank, what's your matchmaking been like? Have you got pretty good matchmaking? I think that's the case. Let me know in the comments what it is for you. Catch you guys on the next one.